Welcome to the grim, lawless 23rd century, following the fall of U.S. Gov and mass depopulation of major cities at the hands of the multi-trillionaire de Huberton family. Baptized in radioactive hellfire, a rare mutation makes Turbo a fiercely pumped scrapper, haunted by specters from her past, surviving the post-apocalyptic wasteland one deathmatch pit fight at a time. But when she rescues the stunning trophy girl, the unlikely duo are thrust into a harrowing odyssey, evading marauding berserkers at every turn on their way to the ultimate showdown as they uncover the horrific truth behind the fall of humanity. Jacobs, writer and penciler, and Kurt Brugel, co-writer and inker, are thrilled to announce the release of the first Turbo teaser, a significant milestone in the indie comic book industry. Jake and Kurt are the first and only duo to create a comic book live on air in a split-screen podcast. But that's not all. Recognizing the challenges and triumphs of indie comic creators, Kurt and Jake have another recurring segment of their podcast spotlighting other indie comic creators who share their stories, discuss their creative process, offer insights into audience building, and ponder the future of comics.
What's going on, Jake?
Yo, man. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Making Turbo Pitfighter. We are the only comic creator duo making a comic live on the air on YouTube, at least that we can find. Let us know if there's somebody else doing this. We have a split screen. Most days we're doing pencils and inks in a split screen, but today Kurt is our taskmaster. We're going to be doing some editing and art direction. Is that right, Kurt?
That is true. We have
True story.
Turbo teaser number 2. True story. Turbo teaser number 2. The next 6 pages, so it'll be 12 pages. I have put together this sweet little little dummy. And it has those 6 pages that you're going to be able to go through and give me some art direction and feedback on so I can actually bring those pages to completion. But before we get started, yesterday I was able to do another session at the Delaware Contemporary Art Center in Wilmington, Delaware for life drawing. And this was probably one of my favorites. In the past, I have been showing off what I've been getting done at these life drawings. This was the last time I showed something off. This is me working in pencil, and this is me with a different set of sort of eyes and attention on the figure. So it's a lot about values and volume, basically the weight of the figure. Yesterday, I really spent the day looking at line and planes. So I'm an inker, and one of my jobs is to just literally make things come to completion in an inking black and white sense. So what I do is I took just a Pilot pen. It's a Pilot G2 pen, and then these are my 10 1-minute warm-ups. I pick a point somewhere and I just start drawing, and when 1 minute, I get as far as I can, and then I move around. So these are 10 little drawings that I did, and it was our model. And then we got into 2 5s. So that was the second one. That's the first. Same thing. A lot of contour lines, looking for shapes that will then become planes, and then building from there. Also, this is channeling my inner Mobius. This was probably the height or the best one, I think, out of my sessions. This one I really like because this is truly a blind contour. Started here, went all the way down, started back up here. And what a blind contour is I'm not looking too much at the figure. I'm just letting my pen follow line and shape and then come back in. And then, oops, went the wrong way. These were two 10-minute poses, and then we did two 20s. This was, I changed over to my Fudenosuke's, same kind of
Oh
practice,
yeah.
was able to get a lot more embellishment in there, looking for stuff. And the last one, you'll notice, I bring in the gray value with a nice big chunk. I use these woodless pencils, they're called. And this is a 2B, but this was a 4B. So I get that. Yep, graphite sticks is what they also call them. So I just want to make that as often as I do a PSA. If you want to improve as a comic book artist in general, draw from life, comic book artists, mainly we draw human figures. So this is a great place to really just get your art nerd on, your education on, figuratively speaking, and go from there. So I just wanted to share that before we went on.
Yeah, I've been meaning to. There's so many life drawing sessions here in the New York City area. I've been meaning to go like on a weeknight after work. They have the Art Students League down in the city. They have their own building. They have the Illustrator Society on the East Side. I mean, there's just so many, and I just want to like pop into and just check some stuff out. But these are some grueling weeks before we hit the holidays. So
they're coming.
That's cool that you're doing some life drawing on the regular. I'm going to just finish up a short stack, and then I will not have any more hole left over. I just lost my light here. And this is everything that I haven't shown so far. Okay. And let me just center it. Okay. So what do we got? Wally Wood. Oh no, sorry, not Wally Wood. Basil Wolverton.
Basil Wolverton.
Basil Wolverton, right? So this is the famous guy that did all the ugly plop covers. Let me move these off to the side so they don't get distracted. So I can't look inside, but he's got an interesting story because he moved away from, he was one of the early superhero guys, I think in the 40s, maybe the 40s, 50s, but he kind of transitioned later into like what he really wanted to do was ugly creatures and ugly people and ugly characters, and he just kind of like concentrated on that. So early Mad Magazine contributor, and then and then Plop. He was famous for DC's covers, doing Plop covers. These real ugly people, front and back. So maybe this is probably worth a comics that influence episode. Here we got agree. Samurai, and at this point, I'm just buying anything from Aircell. And I don't know if this is good or bad inside. I think this might be Barry Blair. Not sure. Yeah, it looks like Barry Blair. But here's a little plug on the back for Maelstrom, which was another Aircell. So Aircell, for folks that don't know, is a independent comic company that had a very good run, and they had some interesting stuff. But some stuff was just kind of like cranked out. Another indie comic company that I've been picking up a lot of on the cheap is Continuity. This is Neil Adams, the one of the greatest comic artists of our generation, maybe the previous generation. But he had this character Armor, and like I said before, Continuity comics are just jam packed. There's like such dynamic composition, and they were also experimenting with color in novel ways during the early days of computerized color. And some of the stuff was also fully painted. Dark Horse Presents. I got this obviously because it has these chicks that are soldiers, and that ties right into some of my storylines. Kurt, I wanted to ask you about the storyline I had called Turmoil on the Planet of the Pleasure Bots,
right.
because I I cut that from my Substack list of bullet points of like stories along the sci-fi timeline, and I'm wondering if I can find a way to put it back in. But I have some layouts, and the plan was that was going to be a little more mature. So maybe that doesn't belong in the Turbo world, and the Elevena world. Here we got Heartbreakers, which I'm interested to check out. This is probably only an 8-page sequence. Bacchus and Delia and Celia, which you can see here on the back. And
I love the Guy Davis. I love Guy Davis.
Guy Davis.
I love that
Yeah,
work.
Mobius inspired. Definitely. Okay, what else? We got a couple more here. We got the Loner. This guy looks like a bad dude. And it says Rich down at the bottom. I wonder if that's Rich Buckler. It just says so. Rich. Is it? Let's see. It is Grant Morrison, Ryan Hughes. No, I don't see Rich. I don't see who Rich is. Grant Morrison is a name. Yeah, this looks like really interesting. Black and white insides. Again, it's this Fleetway quality stuff, which I picked up a bunch of, 2 for $1. I have a feeling that this is better than average stuff inside. Here we got Lone Wolf and Cub. Introduction by Frank Miller.
I remember vividly picking that comic book art up. That cover still today is just one of the most attractive things to me in everything. The fact that down the side is the text, that is just, there should be a Hall of Fame of greatest covers, and I would put that on the list. Every time I see that cover, it just makes me want to run off to a corner and read all Lone Wolf and Cub comics.
Yeah, the Japanese
or anything with ninjas in it.
The Japanese version probably goes all the way down like that, right? Yeah, so this is interesting stuff, imported, right? Again, like
it's
better
amazing.
Better than average.
That stuff is amazing.
Stuff.
Yeah.
So I found another copy of X Mutants, and this was
Is that a Paul O'Connor?
No, he's not on this one. This was a series that Paul O'Connor did contribute to at different times, but he was out of it on this one. So I want to put these with the others, and then I might do a comics that influence on like a little run of X Mutants, because I think I have like 3 or 4 at this point. Here's some more continuity. Speaking of putting things in the order, this is Neil Adams, but this cover is really sketchy. Look how it's like scribbles and zigzags and stuff. Interesting color. I wonder if this was actual airbrush. This is probably before
what year
it doesn't
is
look
it?
like computer. Right, so it's 1993, so it's way before computer color. And look, this is some kind of like fold out cover design. Look, it's a wraparound with a fold out. Like, what is this? A 3/4 wraparound?
It's weird.
Yeah, but this looks like kind of rushed. I wonder what's going on here. Like, I think they were making deadlines, and then the insides. Wait a minute, this goes up too. I missed that. So this is like this, like a T-bone cover. What the hell?
Still
man?
weird.
Have you seen anything
that was
like
weirder.
Before? It is so weird.
Gimmick,
They were really
gimmick.
Gimmicky, right? Yeah, I mean, I wonder what happened to the other pieces here. This is probably a giant fold-out poster. So weird. I don't think this is Neil Adams' insides. No, but these are all worth checking out. I guess I got another samurai here. This is one in a 6-part series, Air Cell. So I guess this was part. This goes with the other one, right back here. Yes, this is 4 in a 6-part series. Okay, so the whole thing was a 6-parter, and I can definitely I can definitely sympathize with that. Here we got the is my picture catching up with me because my previews is behind. Oh, there we go. Okay, Sentinels of Justice. We got AC here, man, and if you look carefully, this is a young Eric Larson.
There you go. And you're back.
Hey, yeah. So just to finish up the stack, this is cool. Sentinels of Justice. This is superhero stuff from AC Comics, one of our favorite um, indie publishers who's still around. They're still putting stuff out little by little now. This is an early Eric Larson of Image fame and Savage Dragon fame, and he did the insides as well, which I'm not supposed to be looking at the insides, but this is I don't know if this is collectible or valuable. I got it for like $50, so I guess it's not very valuable, but it's really interesting to see where these guys got started, and it should be inspiration to anybody right now who's trying to get into the business. Work for a small indie publisher. You might not get a lot of money, you might not get paid too much, but you get exposure, and you get the experience of working on a deadline, and publishing things. And maybe nowadays you don't even have to work on a deadline as like they did in the old days. I don't know. I don't like this kind of stuff. I don't usually pick this stuff up, but this was. I think I ended up with this because it was in like a grab bag or something. I'm not sure how I ended up with this.
They gave it to you.
The interesting thing about what's that? The guy gave it to
yeah.
It might have been like
they can't give it.
It might have been two for $1. Yeah, it was. I think I was getting stuff 2 for $1, and I had an odd number at the end. So I picked this up maybe because it was a graphic novel. I mean, it's a thick thing here. And one thing I want to say about Jim Lee, is that if you go on Tumblr, he's like the only comic artist right now that is doing live streaming of his art, and he's doing really high-end Jim Lee art stuff right now, whatever he's doing currently, and he talks to people, and there's a lot of comments, and he's answering questions, and then he's got his little upsell thing where you can be his Patreon member or whatever, and you can get exclusive stuff. But anybody can go on Tumblr right now and set alerts, and you can see the famous Jim Lee, talking to his fans, and he's super nice guy, definitely super nice guy. I'm not into his his stuff from this era, but what he was drawing the other day looked really nice. I think hopefully we're out of this like image formula stuff where those creators have spread their wings a little bit more. But that is my last stack, and I am empty now. So I'm going to have to be in acquisition mode next time I go out. Yeah, I am going to try to pass by the Nyack comic store that's going out of business. Maybe today. They're only open on the weekends, and see if I can pick anything else up. But that's it, man. That you've seen everything. You and the fans have seen everything I have, and so there's a giant pile of comics like this tall, if you can see, lying on my floor right now, and finally got through my stack. So let's cross that off my rundown, and finally got through that. Next on my rundown is well, we spoke about Ken Landgraf. I guess we got to do that off air. I was just wondering, like, I'm going to treat myself to a Ken Landgraf commission, and I was thinking about getting him to do like a cover that has, like it would be used as an alternate cover. So it would be kind of like a back and front cover, and I was going to have my female superhero team, the Casualties. One so there'd be Esoterra on one side, Hellclaw on the other side, and then straddling the middle, I was going to have Chromita, the Shebot, so that she's half on the front cover and half on the back cover. That was my idea. What do you think?
Wow. And Ken Landgraf is going to do this? This is what you want him to do?
I was thinking about that. Yeah. Maybe I should do my own cover with that design, but I was thinking about treating myself to a commission, because you say he does these illustrations. They're landscape illustrations, and he has like a price point where it's like 50 for one, or maybe like 110 for the other. I guess it depends on the complexity, and maybe if you buy one on his eBay thing and you just like fill out a ticket, he'll get back to you and negotiate the rest. But yeah, what do you think? I mean, should I just get him
I'm
to do a
definitely.
turbo?
Yeah, I would stick with turbo. And the other thing too, I had
Hmm.
mentioned last episode, we had talked about this today. I'm going to go outside of the eBay. I'm going to contact him directly and make sure that I have the right to be able to print. So once again, there's a difference between getting a commission and owning it personally, and then there's a commission where you then print it, and there should be two justified price points for that, especially for artists getting their due, for promoting your work
Yeah, it's a good point.
professionally in a comic on a
It's a
thing.
good point. You
So
want to be
I,
upfront about
I, I
what you
wouldn't.
intend to do.
Yeah, exactly. And what he's on my list of getting on the show. So he would probably be hopefully somewhere in February, because the first week of January I will be reaching out to everybody on the list again and start scheduling them. We have 3 scheduled already, which is Eli Schwab of Cosmic Lion Productions, Adam Lemma for Relic Hunter, and Roland Mann, Cat and Mouse. So, and then we just got an individual who reached out through our form. And there is a form, and if you're an indie comic book artist and you'd like to be in the Indie Comic Exchange, please fill out the form, reach out to us, and we can send you to the form, because that helps us keep everything organized and then for scheduling. So it's going to be a really exciting 2024 when it comes to the Indie Comic Exchange. But with that being said, why don't we jump into this here? Next 6 pages 6 through 12 of our Turbo teaser. This is the mock-up that I printed up last week. It actually had a wonky cover. This was kind of shifted over, so I reprinted again. And so we're dealing with the first 6 pages, which I actually am going to be making a couple of little adjustments.
Always,
the first, yeah. Always, exactly. Always improving upon what you've learned on the next pages. This is our spread. I actually, even Jake, and probably our next episode, I printed out so I can start doing some ink versions of these two characters, which is Mr. Ike. And who was this again? Oh, this is Mrs. Ike, right? Berta.
Yeah.
This is Berta. And so this is going to be, they're not going to be, we don't know yet, but this is going to be a spread where Jake's going to fill it with a whole bunch of really great historical text, punk style. And then we get into page 7, and we'll go
Which
ahead.
I have right here, yeah.
Yep. And I'm gonna listen to what you have in the way of feedback for me. So
I got great news about page 7. Great news about page 7. This this dialogue page. This dialogue page just plugged right in. There's no confusion here. No confusion here. This is 711, 712.
Whoa!
This is 72, 73, and 75, and it all just drops right in. Now we do have to change some of the verbiage and the stacking and so forth, but we don't have the problems that we had before, luckily, because this is just really accurate to this story. Moving on, should we stay on page 7 right now?
Well, whatever feedback you have for me, okay.
Let's do it.
Go ahead and give.
Yeah, let's do it. A couple of things. We love the blood splatter, but we have to be careful not to use it too much. It's great right here. It really is great right here. But you have to be careful not to use it too much, because people know that you're not meticulously drawing dots. They know that you're just taking like a toothbrush and just splatter. So it it works when it works, but right. All right. So here the thing that jumps out at me here. Now my printouts are way dark, and I'm hoping to God that I mean, I have the PDFs, which I should probably get up on my computer too at the same time. But you know, this is real dark. Here, this is bugging me. I think this should be integrated. I think you need black into the white
Okay.
and white into the black,
Okay.
because these are
Okay.
very heavy kind of lines, and it just distracts your whole eye. I want to see this here, and your eye goes here first, on his legs, which
Okay.
aren't doing anything. You could also bring this out more, some more contrast here. This says what, and it seems like it's getting lost in the shuffle. Um,
Okay.
last thing here is like some white edge lining would be great here.
On his
Maybe it's
neck.
good that, well, I can't see anything. Oh yeah, his neck is right. So I mean, my
Yeah.
printout is so dark I can't see a thing. So maybe it's good to see like an extreme version of of when it all goes dark, because if somebody's reading in low light or whatever, you want to be able to pull some of these highlights back out. So I would edge light a couple things here, and that doesn't mean pure white, right? It just means lighter
Right.
than, right? Um,
Yeah.
on this one, this is great. This is great. I don't really see a thing here. I don't know if you want to have any kind of like indication of speed lines. What do you think? Like some speed
That's an
lines here.
interesting. Yeah, maybe I can just do like like this kind of like spiky lines, just like I call them manga speed lines. They're attached to the body, but they're actually more attached to that black outline, and then they come up in like spikes just to give that thing. But I
Yeah, I
would
mean,
want
we've
to
been getting
like
feedback
maybe.
about. I think it was Gotham that said that you really feel like the impact of the blows in our fight scenes. Maybe with that, we'll take some of these little dots and spots and make them look like they're kind of like more reactive, like splats, to this downward motion. See, like what I'm drawing
Mm,
here, right? I mean, we've
yeah,
done that
yeah.
before, and I love that it's right around the sound effect too.
Move it over to the right. Move it to the right. You're off the camera. Yeah, there we go. All right.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
see
Thank
what I
you.
just like kind of drew in here, like all these kind of
Yeah.
directional splats, the radial, that really adds
Okay.
to it. So if you have some speed lines and this like downward motion, we just want it to be like, very impactful. Here, yeah, maybe the same thing here. Like, this is like a camera with very fast speed that just freezing everything. And we want some more comic book visual language where there's some speed lines, right? This arm is going in, so maybe some lines like here going like this way, right? And then this line is going out, or maybe like some shaking lines, or maybe just like dripping blood off of, how about some dripping blood off of his fist, that
Ooh,
um
I like
because
that.
the dialogue right there is, this is 7-3, and with the upper hand, the chieftain rocks the czar with a fury of excruciating haymakers, and this looks like the beginning of the end, gents. Then we have the whole turnabout here as this shaded figure. Oh, by the way, yeah, a little clunky here. I would integrate this shading in more with some darks on other parts of the arms, balance out the darks on the arm, and the same thing with the face here. And I know it's hard because they have the veins everywhere, but I would balance out the dark on the one side of the face with some dark points and some dark marks on the other side of the face, so that it's a little more balanced. Same thing with this arm too. You have very dark and light halves here. Let's put some dark in the light and some light in the dark, kind of yin yang it a
Okay.
little bit. Yeah. Um, love this here. And then here, I can't really see too much. I'm just assuming there's some detail there.
Some light
But maybe you
stuff,
want to
yeah.
pull some of that out just in case.
Nah,
I
nah.
think
I'm
it.
gonna
I
stand.
think
I'm
it.
gonna stand. I'm gonna stand for what it is. This is one of those times where what I did was I masked this and then I hit it with the spray can from down here to give a gradient,
Uh-huh.
you can see,
Right.
like in mine, you can see what I had done with all the hatching, but as it gets down into this area, it goes black. So the idea is to create this volume of form of him really dropping into the shadows. And this is making a really great contrast around the white, tip, the little dart
Right.
that comes through there. So it's not
Yeah, I mean, my
necessary
breakout.
to constantly create some hype of detail in areas where just because there isn't detail. There also needs to be, especially because of these white blocks, they will be filled with text and everything. But, it's that balancing with this white shape here and this dark shape here, white shape.
Right.
I still struggle down here with some of I think things could even drop out even more dark wise, but keeping a focus on the action. So little.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I mean, I probably just have it probably just printed super, super dark on my bad
You're a
print.
laser. That's a laser printer, right?
Yeah, it's a laser printer, but these things just print way dark. Like anything medium just jumps up, you know.
Yeah.
The also, I think we spoke about maybe having some tints in some of these word
Well, that'll
balloons.
be when we do. That's when we do the type. We make that
Yeah.
decision. So going back, so just jumping back to these pages,
Yeah,
that
we
was
did that
based because
before.
the other thing too, because we had these were the announcers' voices, and we grade that.
Yeah.
Turbo had white bubbles or any kind of like talking was from there.
This
So
whole page is the
now here's a
announcer's voice. Yeah.
question. I was just going to say,
So,
so this is going to have to be, I'll have to create a separate Jaggy box layer that will go with um,
yep.
the announcer's text, those narration boxes. So that
Yeah.
answers one of
Yeah.
my questions. Yeah.
So that's it. That's it for that page.
Cool.
Should we jump? Should we jump on to the next? Now, I think you gave this to me
Heck
out of
yeah.
order in your PDF. Yeah, I
Did
think
I?
your PDF has something out of order. I numbered this. This is 7, but this is 8 here, and I don't know if you have that in yours because as soon as he gets hit with a dart, he stiffens up.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So what this is. So, this is 9 then, what I have right here. This is 9, right?
Yep. So this is the proper order.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about
All
that.
right.
Oh, yeah, I see. I do.
So we're on page 8.
9 or 8. You're on 8? Okay.
8. Yeah,
Go
this is
for
the
it. Go
actual
ahead.
8, right?
All right.
Yeah. So you have these strong diagonal stripes here. I would break them up. I would just like, have it mostly stripes, but then just break it up, here and there.
With the
That'll give a
debris.
little more. Yeah, you have debris, and you also have this kind of frenetic motion here. He's stiffening up, so let's really exaggerate
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Okay.
And then because then the lines will be. It's good. I like this. The diagonal movement is very like eye catching, but
Yeah.
let's break it up so it isn't just so formal. Um, I think we should kick back the Duke here. This is a little bit too obvious. I think you put this in here artificially. That wasn't on the original art, right?
No, this is on the original art. This is a pencil. I can erase this down. So this can get really erased
No,
out.
this wasn't on my pencils. This wasn't on my pencils. We added the.
Oh,
Duke
no, I'm
after.
sorry. No. Yes. No, I added it to my page.
Yeah. So I think the positioning's the positioning right there. I don't know if this is a big deal. So I'm gonna leave this up to you. If you want to, like my dream would be move this over so that it's off center and maybe even cut off, and then you can see a little bit of the next one, but not to just center it right there because that is distracting from the action. And I want it to be a lot
Okay.
more subliminal, where it's just an Easter egg.
I can.
It's
The last time we brought this
but
up, like
yeah,
months ago, and
yeah,
I did this in pencil, so this can all get really, really erased down, and it can be very, very faded as it was, let's say imprinted or embedded, by the glue or whatever, the wheat
yeah.
paste. on there. So this can get even more obscured, and I will make that note and attempt at that.
Right. If you want to keep it positioned where it is, just kick it back so that it's just viewable, right? Because I don't
Okay.
want to be like, I don't want people to be like, who's the Duke in the middle of this thing? This is where the whole fight changes this guy was winning and now he's on the floor and this guy rises up. That needs to be
Right.
the focus, not like, oh, who's the Duke? Should I wonder about that? This should really just be background.
Okay.
I have the word balloons, but I'll do that after we look at the visuals. And then other than that, this is a great panel. This panel here, I'm worried that these word balloons aren't going to fit what we have to say. This is fine. This face, it's a little scratchy, so maybe you could use some white and just scratch over the scratches, so that
Sure.
it's not too scratchy. I just don't want her to look like she's sunburned or whatever. I like dramatic lighting, but I don't know if you can look back to the pencils and see where the shading is. And then here, we get a view of inside the room, and there's been a mass slaughter, and she's running out of there. So this is fine. I don't really see anything there. Should we go over the dialogue or no? I'll do that later.
Are you doing well? Yeah, let's do it because that'll be a great segue to because our next video
might
is
help
going
you.
to be yeah. But I
All right, so
this is where.
Okay, so here this will be, and please wait. So this is going to be 8-1. There's only one panel, and it's going to say, and please wait until the match is concluded before attempting to redeem any. Wait, the chieftain has suddenly stiffened up.
That's cool.
Then 8-2. Perhaps a terrible cramp has besieged the chieftain as he falls back in what appears to be crippling agony. So this is 8-2-1. And this is 8-2-2. And look at this. The Torozar is on his feet. 8-2-2. Then we go down to here. It's me, Turbo. Oh, Whoppy. It's me, Turbo. So this is 8-3-1. Oh, it's Whoppy. This is 8-3-1. And then it's me, Turbo, down here, 8-3-2. I guess those are connected, so that counts as one. And then down here, 8-4 is Whoppy. Holy Ned. I don't know, Holy Ned. I stole that from R. Crumb, I think. And then 8-5-1 is shit. 8-5-2. Somebody up there's got my prize money. And connected with that is oh, wait, Whoppy, it's me, Turbo. Oh, okay, sorry, I fucked this up. Excuse my language. 8, this is gonna be 8-3. This is gonna be 8-4 right here, and this is gonna be 8-5. Wait a second. Whoppy. Oh, does she say it's me, Turbo, twice? It's me, Turbo. Whoppy.
Is she saying?
No, here she's saying Holy Ned.
That's would be there.
So because this shit. This shit is a little more vertical. And then it says somebody up there's got my prize money, but what's this other balloon? I don't have anything there. All right, well we could fill it in.
We will have to.
Okay, so I'm gonna put a little question mark here, but we got somebody up there's got my prize money, and then question mark. All right, next page.
We go back to okay. Now we go to 9.
This is where she pops out of the door, right?
No. You got to go back to 9.
9 is here.
Yeah.
So then it's and the tables are turned now as the one-armed czar seizes his opportunity. So this is going to be 9, 1, 1. I need a different pen for this. My these brushes are not good if you leave them sitting out in the air. And let's see. And the chieftain, and the motionless chieftain is gored by the spiked points on the forearm of Torozar. So this is 9, 1, 2. And then we come here to as unbelievable. Wait, which one is the right proportion? This one or this one? As unbelievable as it sounds, it's the chieftain now having the life beat out of him. 9, 2, 1. And that's right, coming back from the brink of defeat, Torozar has staged one hell of a comeback to an emphatic chorus of boos. 9, 2, 2. And then here this one is, yes, the outcome was unexpected tonight here at Whoppy. Seemed to be a runaway early on. But wait. So this is going to be 9, 3, 1. He seems to have something from the upper right shoulder blade of the chieftain's bloody corpse. Perhaps an illegal projectile. So this is going to be 9, 4, A. Oh, I wrote it here, 9, 4, A. So that's 9, 4, 2. And then we have these word balloons of the old man. Wait a minute. Wait just a flirkin' minute. So this is going to be 9, 3, 2. And then he goes, a fix. A flirt. It's a flirkin' fix. So this is going to be 9, 4, 1 and 9, 4, 2. And then over here, 9, 5, 1. A fix. I saw it. And then somebody says, now it seems the chieftain's man-at-arms is inspecting the body of his bloody fighter. This is going to be 9, 3, 3. And then in this box, that's 9, 4, 2. Yeah, this is 9. Yeah, 9, 3, 3, and then 9, 4, 2. We did that already. Okay, then the armed guys are going to say, nobody moves, everybody freeze. Which one of these? I don't know if this is going to fit. And then, well, who's saying hoo-ho? I guess this is, I think, when Turbo comes through the door, she's going to say hoo-ho. So I don't know how we're going to fit this in. Nobody moves looks like it fits, but everybody freeze doesn't look like it's going to fit. But either way, that's 9, 5, 1, and 9, 5, 2. We're going to have to adjust that. All right, so that's all the dialogue. So hopefully that helps you. A fix. It's a flirkin' fix. Okay, let's do the visuals. This is great. This is great. Yeah, okay. So here I got a problem here. I don't know if this is fixable, but we got some stuff that's spilling over to the panels. So this bloody splotch shouldn't be bloody splotching over here. Right?
Why?
Can you limit the bloody splotches to one side, or is that a done deal?
It's on my pages, but the reason I let that go over is it creates this panel, kind of like the scene is more forward than this one in the distance. So when you're moving from this panel over the gutter, my visual, it's helping drop that. This one's the same way. This is the most forward, so that sprayed white highlight I did really is coming forward, but then this is all recessive. I mean, recessive all the way back to there. So, these were choices I was making in the flow of compositionally playing with, in and out, of the
Yeah,
camera,
so
distance
it
to
was a
shutter.
conscious
Oh
decision
yeah.
to let the splatter
Oh
go
yeah.
over the next panel.
Yep,
All
yep,
right. Well,
and
I guess I'll leave it.
and it is there.
I
Now,
would also
in
do
the
that.
future, I will refrain, and we could have a discussion about it. But one of my big practices in inking a page is the wholeness of the page, not just concentrating from one panel to the next and equally distributing attention to the entire paneling. I think that can
Yeah,
be
no, I love.
gratuitously too much.
Yeah, I love leading the eye, and I love when things overlap a little when they're part of
Yep.
something. But when it
Yep.
comes to splatter, I wouldn't do it unless it's on the left side of the page, like going into the gutter. If it's going into like the empty margin here, then it's
Yeah.
fine. But if
Yeah.
it's going into the other panel,
Okay.
I don't. I want the person to concentrate on the storytelling. Um,
Okay.
so and then yeah, other than that, this is great. Here I see these really harsh darks and lights, so maybe we can bring the lightless into the darkness again and the darkness into the lightness again. It's not so bad here because it looks like a lighting thing, but here it's just a little distracting. um Here, so this right, so this glowing circle around the dart, I'm not with it. The dart was supposed to be low key and hidden and never supposed to be seen. So the idea that it's glowing is calling attention to itself, number one. Number two, it's also glowing onto the next panel where we're
Right.
getting our first look at these armed guards. So these guys
Right.
should be dark and brooding. So I don't know if you can. I mean, I did have like maybe like a little halo around it of not shading, just to kind of make it obvious that the dart was there and make it nice and visible. um and I wonder if we can get a little more light on the guy's, on some of a little more light highlights on the guy's face. I think it's a little too dark. I'd like to see his weird expression a little bit better. If you can lighten that up, and then nothing else there.
So, but the
You know
thing
what I
is
noticed?
to
Yeah.
make this happen, like basically around here, I would re-ink the darkness back in. I mean, I could even bring it, obviously, you know, to the dart itself. But I also question whether that's just creating once again an inverted focus on the dart, because it's just going to be it'll be a white dart against black.
Yeah, I mean, in the pencils, the dart was just a tiny little dart in his hand, and
Right.
it's in the center of the panel on purpose. The guy's looking down at it, and so I thought it had enough attention. I might have even had like a couple of little shiny lines around it, so maybe that was my mistake, like bringing too much attention
No,
to
it's
it.
all
But I
me.
wanted, yeah. All right. Well, I wanted it to be subtle so that the reader sees it there. They focus in and they see it because it is a MacGuffin for a minute, uh, and
So
then immediately.
are you saying at this point nobody is aware of this dart other than him?
Well, in the dialogue, he starts to talk about it, and in the dialogue, the announcer starts to ask. It says, it seems the chieftain's man at arms is inspecting the body of his bloody fallen fighter. He seems to have pulled something from the upper right shoulder blade of the chieftain's bloody corpse, perhaps an illegal
That
projectile.
and that's the announcer making
It's
that.
right, and that is right in where did I that's right in 942. That's right here.
So you're not.
So if
you
it
don't
wasn't
want that much attention on the
visual
dart.
because we have it, we're basically explaining it, to the obvious, to Captain Obvious right here. There can be
So
no.
you think it's too much? It's too much between these two, the visual and this.
Yeah,
this
just
narration
make
is
the
too
dart.
much.
No, the net. I mean, once the crowd becomes aware there was an illegal projectile, everybody knows something's going really, really wrong now.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of money on this, and and that's when we see the armed guards, pull out their guns. The whole thing was a setup, because they probably knew they weren't going to get away with it. But but they got away with this far, and they were able to to kill the proprietor and down in the office and take out his security, down there. So basically, we just want this to be just like a plain dart, in his hand, because we explain here that it's an illegal projectile. I think just take a look at the pencils. I think it's just not
Sure. No, I got it
emphasized
now.
at
I got
all.
it. I'm with you. No,
Okay.
I'm with you. I can move
Yeah,
on that.
and then
I can move on that.
yeah, and then these armed guards, they're going to be unleashing holy hell. So this is a very important panel. I was out the other night and I gave my phone to a friend and I was like, check out this PDF. This is, my inker just gave me back the rushes on this. And he was using, on the phone, you go pinching in and out, right?
Uh-huh.
He was pinching this panel. He was looking all over this panel. He was zooming way the hell in. And, this panel was really catching his attention, and I was just like watching over his shoulder, like, interesting.
Wow.
So, we spoke about fine detail and like, I guess, taking the painstaking time to get these faces in and everything. So I really appreciated, the detail on this panel, because when I noticed it's really interesting to give this to somebody, and let them like look at it and then just see where their eyes are going, right? It's really, it's like, test marketing or something, right? Yeah. So that was page 9.
All right. So, we are at the 45-minute mark. Good timing. Right. So we're going to end right here.
Yeah.
And we're going to pick up, we're going to pick up on page 10, which means we got 3 more pages for next episode to review. But let's just make a quick reminder to those who might be coming in to this episode for the first time and they've made it this far. First off, we want to thank you for getting this far. Second of all, this is a 20-year-old plus project that Jake and I fell off the face of the earth from each other because life took us into
for 20 years.
No. I'm saying we fell apart.
This is Rip Van Winkle. Not slaving in the salt mines for 20 years. It was put on a shelf 20 years ago. Okay, but Kurt's absolutely right. We have revived this from the dead, and we started working on it about a year and a half ago now, or.
Yeah, almost 2, brother. Almost 2. It'll be March.
Almost
March
2 years
when you
ago.
reach out to me. Yeah.
So March.
So pull those text pages out. Pull those text pages out and throw them on there. Because the way it was going to work is that I was to ink the pages. You were then at the same time working on each of the bubbles to be filled in. And then when I had the inks, I would have gotten them to you. And we probably would have done a jam session for a weekend where we would have cut and pasted those. Well, technology's brought us all the way out to this point where we're integrating it back in. We're obviously translating the story. We both have grown as artists, so we're meeting with those things as well. So just bear with us because it will all make sense. But that's all I have for these good people. Let them get them back to reading comics. Making them if they are, Jake, and we'll pick back up in the next episode.
Look what I found. Look what I found. Look what I found. I found the missing thing here. It's just going to say, shit.
Noted.
So I'll put Right. See this? Look, new. I have a note to myself. There's a new 2. This is page 2,
Oh, good.
and there's a new 2,
Good.
and here's the new 2. So I'm gonna have to renumber all. Thanks, folks. Thanks for Frank. Thanks for like looking in on our process. We're about to just go ahead and tape our next show. So if you're watching this out into the future, go ahead and binge the next one. But hopefully you guys are creating something on your own. And if you're more like a fan or collector, then refer to these pages and see how these were made. This is like in the moment, all the little decisions that go into it. So thanks for tuning in.
All right, I'll see you in a little bit.
Yeah. Right.